Oh, hi guys. I enjoyed all your videos. I think a really common theme that we all talked about is how there are certain races that are more emphasized in studies and in society in general, and we tend to forget about um, the races and ethnicities of heritage cultures like American Indians, even Asians, and some Latinos. Oftentimes, we just focus on white and black as the major race issues when we do think about them. Starting with Brittany, I liked how you talked about how the previous models for multiple dimensions of identity are very similar to the ones for how racial students form their identity and how they all sort of merge together with race, even though race is tied into, for example, the MMDI model, the ways in which that the racial model itself is still structured super similarly. And you made a good point saying with the Native Americans as well, um, because there are so many different cultures and so many different tribes, we can't be ignorant to grouping all Native Americans into one particular race or heritage or culture because they are all so different. So it's just good to be reminded of that difference. Catherine, you talked about again that this theme that there is more than just white and black, the whole reoccurring theme um, and how your segregated town sort of helped you mold into the person you are now, and that there is something, a quote you talked about, how students with lighter skin have a closer ethnic identity, while students with darker skin have a stronger racial identity. And that is an interesting way to phrase it. And I can see how that could be true when, in terms of darker skinned individuals relating more with their race, with lighter skins more with sort of like the culture and the ethnic side of it. Tammy, I really liked hearing you talk about your athletic advising experience and how you ask, how often your athlete calls home, and how you kept in mind that you need to keep a more accurate portrayal of the student holistically, and that you need to keep them in mind, you know, in that holistic sense, and not just that they're an athlete or they're a student or they're a son, and to keep it all wrapped up holistically. Um, and Matt, I really liked your story about how lacrosse is really important in certain Indian preservation, I think you said it was, and how they did not take scholarships because they thought that maybe at the school they would not blend in well, or the culture shock and all the different things that would come into play there. And that says a lot. If students who are a part of that culture are willing to turn down a scholarship because their culture means that much and they don't want to have to sacrifice it, then we need to find a way for those students to feel more accepted with their culture within our college campus's culture. On my map, I focused on Wren's ecological, multiracial identity development, if I said that right. And I thought that was interesting because she really focused again on how students of mixed heritage feel versus just white or black or Asian, because that is again an area that has been overlooked throughout history a little bit, because those students struggle to identify with either race, and oftentimes they feel that, for example, a white and black mixed student feels that they feel pressure to be white, or that they're too black with the white culture. When they try to hang out with their black friends, they're just too white for them, and they really struggle to figure out who they are. And she said there are 5 healthy different kinds of labels that mixed race students have. It was monoracial, multiple monoracial, extra racial, and how whether they choose to identify with one race, a few races, races in different contexts, races in different times of their life. Um, and with my specific athletic advising experience, all of the students I work with are white, and mine's a little bit unique because I mentor between 4 and 6 students every time, just for briefer periods of time with the way things worked out. And like I said, all of them are white, so it has been a different experience. And although I can't relate directly this race chapter to my students, as they are all Caucasian, I can see very clearly with even just friends who are of mixed race or other races, the things they've expressed to me are ideas that are just, talked about through the chapter. Hope everyone is doing well. Have a wonderful weekend.